What do you think about Rihanna's reunion with her alleged abuser, Chris Brown? Can you understand why she went back to him? Or are you outraged that she took him back? Should any man who hits a woman get a second chance? It's Your Call looks at the Rihanna Chris Brown controversy and examines domestic violence right now. Every year in America, over 5 million women are abused by their partners, but sadly, that doesn't make headlines. But when that woman that does, who is one of the top entertainers in the music industry today, it becomes worldwide news. Rihanna's alleged attack at the hands of boyfriend Chris Brown did just that, but it was even bigger news when it was reported that the couple had reconciled. That left many people wondering, what is she thinking? Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for a very important discussion. I'm Lynn Doyle, talking with you this hour about domestic violence, which has once again been brought to the forefront because of a high-profile case. This time, it's pop star Rihanna. Why would someone so beautiful, so successful, so seemingly on top of the world stay with someone who police say threatened to kill her while assaulting her? Well, that's the question we're asking you and our experts this hour. We're going to hear from them in just a moment, but first, here's what you told us about that very subject in person.
It was saddening to see her go back so quickly. You know, I mean, I think it's definitely not impossible to reunite these kinds of situations, but I think they would have been better off to put some thought into it.
No matter what the situation is, no matter what people say to you, you're still going to want to do what you want to do. So, I mean, it seemed like she cared about him, she loved him, so I don't know.
It's one of those things, I guess she figured she was safe with him and she went back, and it's a judgment call there. I think she made a bad decision myself.
Young love, you know, you live and you learn. I think it's one of them things that you have to go through. It's like they're young, 19, 20 years old, I think, in that range. Is like they have to, live and learn, I think.
Live and learn indeed. We've heard from them. Now it's your call. What do you think about Rihanna's decision to stay with Chris Brown? Do you understand why women return to abusers? And if a man hits once, is it a certainty that he'll hit again? I want to know what you think about this, so I invite you to email your thoughts and your opinions to me. A couple of different ways you can do it. You can log on to csnphilly.com and then put in It's Your Call or IYC under the search key. That'll take you to my webpage where you can leave me a comment. Or you can take our web poll. This hour, we're asking, if a man hits once, will he hit again? Or is it possible that he can change? If you want to email me directly, here's how you do that. TCN_IYC@cable.comcast.com. And of course, we are on Facebook, MySpace, and YouTube as well. We're going to get some opinions from our panel, and believe me, they are strong opinions on this subject. Let's start first with Beth Sturman. She is the executive director of Laurel House, which is a residential home for teenage runaways and youth in crisis. She's here with some insight into why women so often stay with batterers for so long. Wendy Demchek-Aloy is a former district attorney who is now project director for Montgomery County, Pennsylvania Child Advocacy Project. She'll explain the Rihanna case from a prosecution perspective. Kendra G is back with us. She's the host of Kendra G Live on 100.3 The Beat in Philadelphia. She's been getting a ton of response on this topic, some of it very surprising to her. And rounding out our panel is George James. He is a staff therapist with Counsel for Relationships, to whom we'll ask the question, can this couple or any other like it survive something like this? Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate your time on such a very timely topic. I got to turn there to Kendra because she has my attention, saying that the response that you've gotten to the Rihanna Chris Brown story has shocked you. How come?
It's unbelievable. My listeners are calling me and they're saying things like, well, what did Rihanna do? Because she had to do something. Or, well, Kendra, this happens all the time. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, happy that the girl is not dead right now, because when a man hits you, he's trying to kill you, in my mind. You know, the wrong punch can truly kill you.
So you're saying that women are calling you saying, well, maybe she did something. Maybe she deserved it. Maybe she triggered it?
Oh, my God. I have more men that have called up and said it's never right. It's unacceptable. And more women literally arguing back and forth. And not even, I want to say, young women, the teenage girls, the big Chris Brown fans who can't see anything past the glitter and the gold and him being the cutest boy to them. I'm like, do you know what he just did? He beat his girlfriend. It's crazy to me.
It's shocking that people could make excuses, and yet it happens all the time.
I think that that's a common theme in domestic violence cases, where there is this kind of go-back syndrome of a woman who gets hit once, twice, maybe even beaten badly, and she goes back, either thinking in a warped way she deserved it, I should have been hit, I love him and he won't do it again. Any of these excuses completely unacceptable, confounding to some, but pervasive, I think, in the landscape of these cases. I've seen it again and again in my almost 18 or more years as a prosecutor, and I view it as pathetic, but there's a reason why. It's weakness of spirit by the woman, and the man is acutely aware of that the woman is weak.
Let's talk about some of the reasons, Beth, because as long as Wendy's been doing this, you've been doing it that long and more so.
Oh, I'm older than Wendy. We see, I don't know that it's weakness of spirit, Wendy. We do see, certainly there's a pattern where women go back, and men go back if the man is the person being abused. That's absolutely what we see as well. But there's a whole process, typically in a cycle of violence, with the honeymoon period, and it'll never happen again, and I'm truly sorry. And sometimes the abuser really truly is sorry at that moment in time. And even if they're not, the other person understandably wants to believe that. Maybe they have kids together. They have a whole life together that goes beyond just that violence, if it's an extended relationship. And we see that, you know, they want to believe that it's going to be different. And maybe for a while it is different. And then there's something and it gets bad again. It gets dangerous again. It's unpredictable sometimes when it gets dangerous. And I can't even begin.
It's always dangerous, though. I think when he hits you, it's always dangerous.
You know, and even to the point, like, for what I do, I have clients that will come in because of that situation where the violence happened at one point in their relationship and they're coming for another reason. And as we start to dig a little bit deeper, we find out that there was violence in the relationship. Mm-hmm. So the issue is there's so many different layers. Now, I'm going to be clear. I don't agree with violence and that there shouldn't be violence in any relationship, and it destroys the quality of the relationship. But some of the couples that I see vary from those who are constantly going through abuse versus where it might have been a one-time thing or something that they need